Hello, LinkedIn. Me again. So, welcome to today's late lunch show on Friday, whatever date it is today. What's the date today?
20th.
20th of February. um, so, we've got Dave McGregor in with us today from Ceed, which we're going to find out a lot about in a minute. So, David and I, we've known each other now. That's
A good few years, Jimmy.
4 years.
Aye.
We've been a member of Seed for a long time and we absolutely love it. So one of the things we wanted to do is try and let other people that maybe follow the show and follow the page and stuff like that get to know a wee bit more about Seed, because we get huge amounts of value from it and we think lots of other companies could as well. So we'll go through on to that in a minute. So first things first, we need to give Andrew a big shout, Bull Mango Media, for making all this possible. Amelia is away gallivanting today. She's in Copenhagen, so we don't have Amelia to give us a thumbs up. So Alana, Audrey, anybody from my business that's watching this just now, if you could text Andrew and let him know that you can hear us and see us okay. But even if they can't, we're still going to go for it, David.
We're going to have a chat.
We're going to have a chat. Right, so we also need to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Grow. So I'm in the caramel lattes today, and I love you every day.
All right. Right. I'm in a white coffee.
And you love me every day.
And I love you every day, Jamie.
Thank you. See, I thought he did, but that's just confirmed it. And then cakes wise, we obviously have to have a honeymoon slice. So that's Andrew's, and then I've got this cookie thingy-majiggy that did have a wee kind of caramel top of it, but I've ate it.
And I could pick nothing else other than a strawberry tart.
Right.
So I don't know quite with it.
You're big turkey.
Yeah. I'm not sure though if obviously I've got a wee affiliation to Tunnock's, being an Uddingston lad, so
Yep.
We'll have to see how it measures up.
And David brought me in a present. Look at that. I mean, how many's in there?
Enough for your team, Jamie.
48 biscuits. Right, so Lucas, Harry, and so there's not a lot of folk in the office today, so there's a few for me. So when I get back into the office, Lucas, Harry and Freddie, look what yous are getting when I get back. A wee Tunnock's wafer, Campbell wafer. So,
yeah, I took the choice of that. Obviously there's that or a tea cake, but I went for the caramel wafer. I thought it'd be a...
Aye. I used to say, wafer, FC.
7 million made and sold every week.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
You think I was doing an advert for Tunnock's?
Aye, there you go, Tunnock's. So, but Tunnock's are another great Scottish success story. I mean, if you look at, you get Tunnock's tea cakes everywhere in the world, right? Everywhere in the world. So when you look at, everybody talks about the whiskies and all that kind of stuff. There is bigger story.
Absolutely.
It's bigger story. So no, they're brilliant and they taste awesome.
Absolutely.
And just for those who maybe don't know, so a couple of years ago, I did a wee thing on LinkedIn when we were at the what was it? The Scottish manufacturing event.
Yep.
And I put a thing out on LinkedIn about getting so many likes and stuff like that for the Seed guys to get me a present. And that's what David got me that time. I know it was some Tunnock's tea cakes and some caramel wafers.
Yeah, I'm maybe gonna have to up it a wee bit, haven't I?
No. Just don't you bother up in it, right? That'll do fine.
That'll do fine.
I'll be sitting there. I'll have a dunker for the next week.
There was, you can probably find it on LinkedIn. There was somebody that they've done a wee PR piece recently on LinkedIn, Tunnock's, actually, and it was quite interesting. And it talked about things that they've kept, their principles kept exactly what they've done for all these years. You know, the size of the biscuits and how they make them and stuff. Obviously, technology's moved on, but an interesting one if anybody comes across it. It's worth having a look at.
Definitely. And if what's the fella that runs its name again? Oh, I can remember hearing him on the.
Oh, you've got well, it's Boyd Tunnock.
Boyd Tunnock, aye. So if Boyd's listening to this, right, we've just gave you a big plug, Boyd, right, for your Tunnock's tea cakes, and see if you're looking for a good condition modelling company to keep all that stuff running for you, just give us a shout.
And if he wants to join any kind of manufacturing or engineering network, then Ceed's around too.
100%, because Ceed are one of your biggest advocates. That's what we've noticed now for the last kind of couple of times we've got together. Not just because you're for Uddingston, because you guys love Tunnock's and they should really be a Ceed member.
There you go.
Right, okay, David, so talk a wee bit give us a wee bit about you, right, and then start talking about Ceed, and then I'll just jump in and out as things go.
All right. So, well, first of all, delighted to be here. Most people that know Ceed will know Joe, our MD, and he's let me know that I have to tell you that he's on a course right now.
Tell him, Joe. Do you know what? I hope you're rained off and you're sitting watching this.
So yeah, he's on a course somewhere, but if anybody knows Joe, they know what kind of course he's on right now. So just in advance of the awards, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I joined Ceed just over 4 years ago, and a reasonably funny story. I mean, I was with Babcock for many years, always been manufacturing engineering. Knew a wee bit about Ceed and came across them, I guess, through Babcock, and wanted a wee bit of a change and thought, yeah, that sounds like something. Met Joe, very persuasive guy.
Sure is.
Thought 6 months, 12 months, so over 4 years ago. So it gets under your skin. So that, I suppose that personally, that's my background, is manufacturing engineering. So when we're privileged enough to meet all of you guys and people in the real world of in real companies and doing real stuff, it's a huge honour and privilege in it. And I can see some of the challenges, and I can see what goes on, and I know the struggles that there are, but also know the opportunities that are. So that a wee bit, that's my background. I've been in a number of different industries, but pitched up at Ceed 4 years ago, still there. So I guess a wee bit about Ceed. Ceed's a manufacturing, engineering, technology networking organisation, membership organisation. Started just over 20 years ago with some academics in Paisley Uni, as it was at the time, now UWS. We all know it's UWS. Felt that academia and industry probably weren't speaking enough, sharing enough, a lot of expertise and knowledge in both, and thought that the bar could be raised by coming together and sharing that and working together more, and that's how Ceed started. The idea was to get as many different companies and academic institutions involved, and we've done that, and that's pretty much how it's kept going for 20 years. And I suppose what Ceed does is it's a conduit for bringing those people together, like-minded people to come together and share and learn from one another, good old peer-to-peer fashion.
Yep. And I think for me, obviously, the statement is the smartest person in the room's the room, right? So I had to get that in just in case Joe is watching.
But Joe, that's another pound to Joe for his copyright on that one.
But it's a true statement, and I can remember the first time, as I say, that's probably about 4 years ago, the first time I heard that, and I went, I love that, because what you're getting is you're getting loads and loads of people in a room that share challenges and talk about different things, and the smartest person in the room is everybody in the room. It's the room, it's the conversation that takes place in there. And that peer-to-peer learning that goes on, I think, is massive. So we talk about lots of things in here that are peer-to-peer, right? So it's like your accelerator programs, your scale-up programs, all of these kind of stuff. The peer-to-peer and the net zero stuff we do, the peer-to-peer is the real value, because you learn off of each other, right? You get real, tangible, real-life stories that somebody's probably already been through something that you're experiencing. And that's massive. And one of the things that, I mean, we're just talking there before we come on, was about the academia and industry kind of connection. And it is too far away a lot of the time. And that's what you guys are doing, is trying to bring that knowledge, that experience, and those people together into the same environment where everybody can learn off each other. And it's massively beneficial.
Yeah. No, I think the fundamental, the core of that is that everybody knows something.
Yeah.
Everybody's got some part or some piece of the jigsaw, call it. And if you can bring as many of those pieces together, you'll eventually get to the full jigsaw. And I think that's really important as well, because although, you can get two people that somebody's had a similar challenge and they can learn from one another, but when you kind of just even take that wider and broaden it, the opportunity within those kind of networks is huge. So
no, it's great. And obviously, so what kind of size is it? Probably just
you should be used to this by now, Jim.
I know. But that's the thing. I'm a hand talker. I'm terrible for it. How many members he's got now?
So I suppose the factual one would be we've got 200 members, and as Joe would say, not to keep quoting him, that'd be the last thing.
Well, he seems to, every time you put somebody else's name in, he comes up in Google.
Yeah, well, I'll tell people about that later. So we get 200 of you guys that love us enough to contribute. What we also say is that we know an awful lot of other people that we consider to be in our network, partners, collaborators, organisations that have been through Ceed, part of Ceed in the past, and even those that are still to come that don't even know it yet. So although our network officially that keeps Ceed alive as a kind of contributing to the network is at 200. You know, it's a lot.
I would have thought it was a lot more than that, because, as I said, I mean, the amount of people and companies that we've had access to during our time in that, it's massive.
So, well, we would love it to be more.
So all these people that I've spoke to in the past, right, that aren't a member, get yourself a member, for God's sake. The amount of stuff that you guys do and the amount of value you bring, and it's not as if it's a massive amount of money, the membership. It should, for me, I think we need to try and get that number to 500.
I think, to be fair, the last 2 or 3 years, it's increased exponentially.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I think our relevance, our presence, our impact in the sector is increasing, and more people are seeing that, and more people are reaching out for that kind of value of peer to peer. So it is growing, but there's room for a few more. That's for sure.
Okay, right. So let's see if we can get the numbers up after the back of this, because I'm going to try and promote the absolute knickers off it.
You need that bleeper again.
I know. I do need the beeper. What I need is actually Andrew to get a cattle prod there, just to right. You're got to swear. But for me, any business, right? Let's just talk about Scotland. But any business in Scotland, for me, that is involved in engineering, manufacture, production, basically any of these sectors where you've got some sort of engineering taking place within it, for me, should be a member.
Well, I would agree with that, obviously. The other thing I would say, I mean, we aren't the only show in town, and we know that, and we don't want to be the only show in town. I think there's room for others. We think we're quite unique in what we do at Ceed. We're quite agile. We react quickly. We run an awful lot of activity. I mean, to give you an idea, that last year alone, we were just shy. It was like the old cricket analogy of 99, kind of, and then you're out type thing. But we got to almost 100 different events, workshops,
that's phenomenal.
training, seminars, roundtables, call it what you like, just opportunities to bring people together. And nearly 2,000 people amongst that. Okay, some people come in several times, but that's 2,000 people, opportunities to connect, and over 400 organisations. And the clever people will know that I said we had 200 members, but we've got 400 people. So as much as we create value, I hope, for members, and we do things with members, we open opportunities to just members, and that's the value of being part of the network and contributing. We also think that we can't have a closed shop. So you've got to have other people, you've got to have other views coming in, and that lets them see what the network's about, and hopefully they then join, or at least just bring some new ideas and new views to it. So very prolific last year, lots of different events, activities, and we've started this year in the same vein. And some are themed, some are not, but essentially what dictates what happens, or what we do, is driven by you guys.
By demand.
And I know, and maybe talk about that, we've done a couple of workshops. I think that's what we called them anyway, workshops with you, and sharing the capabilities and the skills and knowledge that you've got, because that's important to a lot of people, and we'll do that with anybody in the network.
And I think obviously I've gave feedback on all the stuff that I've went to, and I think I've had value out of everything I've went to, and I've been to a lot of Ceed events. Obviously, I would love to be able to go to them all, because every single one that I've went to, I've been able to get something, right? Even if the subject matter maybe wasn't run about what my business does, there is always still a connection in the room somewhere, whether it's what somebody that I already know, that I'm going, do you know what, I'm going to go because I've not seen them for ages and a good chance they'll be there, or it's new people. So that there has always been some sort of value taken from it. But so I can speak obviously tangibly about, if you go to these things, you will get something out of it. But don't get me wrong, it's the same as all these events. You can't go there and be the wee shy person in the corner, just standing there with your own wee rolling cup of tea. You do need to obviously try and talk to people, but everybody's really, really helpful. Everybody's really friendly. It's a nice environment. It's not like a sales networking thing. And that's what I like about it. So it's not that you're going there and you've got 10 people trying to sell you stuff.
No.
And obviously, even when at the time when John Lowe, my sales guy, was going there, I went, "You're not going there to sell anybody." I said, "So don't even try it. You're going there to learn stuff and make connections. Because Joseph, who's our new solutions manager, I'm basically telling him, I want you to go to nearly every Ceed event that's going on. I say it's because you'll get loads and loads of value out of it. He doesn't come from the sector, so he'll learn lots from almost every single subject that gets spoken about, and make meaningful connections at the same time. So the value is massive. But I think where I was going with that was, I think the feedback that came from ours was it's quite valuable to people. Is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose the litmus test of that is, we come every year to you and go, do you want to renew and join again? And we never usually have an issue with that.
No.
And that's, I suppose, the litmus test. And feedback like you've given is regular feedback. We get it wrong sometimes. We rely. So how Ceed, I guess, operates is we rely on the network to provide the expertise and the knowledge. We don't go away out and get we occasionally do, but we try and pull that expertise from within the network and get them, get like people like you and others to share. Sometimes we don't get it right. Sometimes, I mean, the value of a Ceed room is that you get discussion, you get two-way debate. Sometimes, and I can be guilty of this as well. People get too nervous and just present. Just keep presenting and keep presenting. So you don't get that two-way, and that's really what the value of Ceed. So sometimes we get it wrong and people just present. It becomes a wee bit boring and a kind of PowerPoint fest. But so that's why we really enjoy going and visiting factories and people's sites and hearing what they do, seeing what they do. And the feedback from that kind of type of activity is always positive. During, like everybody did during COVID times, Ceed had to go online.
Adjust.
And it did okay. And that's a hard one to get that two-way discussion online. But we managed it. But after it was possible to get people together again, that's really solely what we do now. There's very little we'll do online because the value is people in a room.
I don't like online things. It's just again, you're getting a generation now that don't mind it, but it's just not for me at all. See, like online webinars and all this kind of stuff. I like to be sitting talking.
Blathering.
I just don't get the same value add from it. So see, if you're sitting in a room and you go, well, I wonder what that person's name is, you'll maybe go up and have a chat with them. If somebody's standing there kind of just yourself, you'll go up and have a wee chat with them. I mean, actually, I'll give you an example of where this kind of that philosophy. We've now got a bit of a relationship going with Altrad, right? And that whole thing started by being, I can't remember what the event was. It was an event. It was a nuclear event on at Strathclyde Uni. Right. I went and stood at a wee table at lunchtime. Right. I was just there myself. Went and stood at a wee table, started talking to the folk that works out. The guy that was standing next to me, he was the director for asset management for Altrad.
Perfect.
That would never have happened. Never have happened. And it works out that there's synergies there and there's a load of stuff that we can potentially do together. These things, you don't get that opportunity when you're on a webinar or a Teams call, because you're going, right, okay, nice to meet everybody, click.
Aye. And you kind of mentioned it yourself. You've always you can't be the shy Wayne, as they say. Shy Waynes get no sweets.
So that's why I was always fat.
I'll set them up.
I used to get like, you get a piece of MD's door, no, I get a piece of everybody's door.
So, but it's true, and I know you've had a lot of people on the show talking about the value of networking just as that practice, and that's something that I never really did even before joining Ceed, and I can see how it would have helped actually, because you're in four walls, and especially for me in a company like Babcock, there's a lot of smart people there, so generally you could find somebody that you could talk to or learn from or whatever, but the real value comes with the diversity of those that are not assimilated in your business.
100%.
And but you can't be shy about that, and you've got to go, and you've got to, even if it is getting a coffee and just talk to the person next to you, you just never know who it's going to be. And another saying, and Ceed, and it might have come from somebody, but I'll not mention it this time, is the whole idea of kissing frogs.
Aye,
You got to keep kissing the frogs, and eventually you'll find But you've got to keep doing that. You've got to keep
Just a
putting
few frogs in my day,
putting
a
yourself.
few toads and all.
That's probably enough for this show, though, is it?
I don't know. Friday lunchtime, right? I don't know if I'm probably a bit PG, but there's been definitely a few frogs in my time. I think it's even something. I don't know if it was you that first said that to me, and you said about the whole kissing the frogs thing. I think that's exactly what I said back then. I've done that back. Kissed a few frogs back in the day.
I mean, we know that it is difficult, and I know that from personal experience to get out of, is, you know, people are busy. People are busy in jobs, and you even doing this and things, but there's value in it. It's investing time in other things and try to get yourself away, because at the end of the day, it might be one step back to take a few forward.
Wow.
And it's see that and all these kind of networks, it very much is about you get back what you're able to put in.
100%.
So if you the more you can put in, the more you'll get back from that. And I think just we always talk at Ceed, you're right about it's not a sales pitch, it's about sharing and learning from one another. So this is not a sales pitch, but the beauty of Ceed is that it's an organisation. So like you've just mentioned, your sales folk there and John previously, now Jonathan. So Kane's been, it's for the business.
Right.
So everything that goes on, it might suit different people within the business, and that value just escalates from there.
100%, and that's what obviously Audrey. So I think
Yes.
Audrey's going through obviously the Growth 500 program. There's so much there to be added value for all parts of. Well, if you look at a business my size, all parts of it, but for numerous parts of the business, as you say. I mean, if you look at why you spoke to us and we had the conversation about putting on those RCA things, because we're going, right, we do all these things for the kind of business leaders and all this kind of stuff, but nobody's really doing that much for the maintenance guys. Who are the people who are trying to keep all these processes going. So you're then thinking outside the box and going, what can we do to help those guys? Because your maintenance managers, guess what? You can bring, obviously, you can have somebody for finance that's coming to these networking events and meeting people and learning stuff. But see if that guy doesn't keep it running, your finances are crap. And it was looking at that, and I thought when we had that initial conversation about it, went, fantastic idea.
Yeah. And I think that's important. Back in the day, Ceed used to have something called clinics.
Right.
And the idea behind that is, the clues in the title actually, is that the clinics had a theme.
Yep.
And the theory's good here, but the themes grew, and I think we had about 20 different themes. Maintenance was one of them. And the idea was that we'd have these clinics on those themes on a regular, frequent, reoccurring basis, and challenges would be put on the table. It was like a kind of, our chair Dave Pearson calls it a reverse clinic. Where you throw a challenge on the table and everybody kind of comes around it, huddles and kind of comes up with the answer. We sort of drifted away from that, and it was probably right, because they became a wee bit of a noose round the neck. You were just, people said they were having to do them, not because they were needed, but because they were just, that was what we did. But we got away too far from them, and I think there's a place for that for people. It's good when you've got diverse roles and diverse people coming together, because you get different ways of thinking, a bit of creativity, but it's always good for like-minded, that is, and from similar subjects to come together. So now, well, I guess it's a wee bit broad, but we've got the Women in Industry Network that's meeting frequently, and everybody's welcome at that. I think we've called it now Together We Engineer. We're probably stealing something from somewhere, but you know, that's what it's about. We're engineering together, and that diversity. We've got a cyber group now that we've done some stuff on before. We've got an OPEX one now based around CI, bringing those people together, and we've got a business leaders group as well. So bringing leaders.
Just on your cyber thing, have you got a kind of cyber business in that now? Because see, first obviously we had the likes of, it was us, Star, blah 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 blah, that were all kind of part of that initial cyber one. Do you actually have a cyber security focused business in it?
As in that's their specialism, and that's we've got a few.
Oh, they are, okay.
And I guess we have to watch them. I was talking to one yesterday, and they've got great knowledge to share. They have to realise that they're coming out a network where people will have maybe similar knowledge to them.
Yeah.
So they need to kind of work together on that.
I know, just coming in and I'm telling you this because I know.
Yeah, and and everybody has an equal voice, and it's not about you coming into the network and going, we're the next.
My muscles are
best
bigger
thing."
than your
Yeah.
muscles or that.
And you want to come to us. But so there is a few, some there's members in there. I mean, it's always good to name check them, from the bigger ones like Net Defence and Aspire, down through the smaller ones like CubeNet and stuff like that. So if I've missed anybody that's listening, then sorry about that. But there's definitely expertise in that area, and I think it's important that's important as well, that we have that expertise, that not just the manufacturing company, because that's
100%.
just bringing,
because these are all things that are really critical to it. So it's all right saying about back to what I was saying about the finance person. The finance person can't do their job if the maintenance person doesn't do theirs.
correct.
Right, but it's the same as everything. So you've got all of these other additional things that are required to keep an engineer and a manufacturer and a production business in operation. Maintenance is one, obviously supply chain's another, then you've got leadership, then you've got cyber, you've got all of these things.
Yeah, I think I mean it's hard. We're a small team, and we would love to do lots more.
They're an awesome team though. Give them all a shout out. Obviously, we're not talking to Joe because he's obviously not here. He's in the golf course. I'll say it. He's no one to grass in, but I'll say he's in the golf course. But obviously Victoria, brilliant.
Yep.
Right. Obviously Josie and Megan, brilliant. So the guys in your team are amazing. Right. Yep. And see if you think about, so there's how many is there now? So there's obviously Joe, you.
Yeah,
Victoria, Megan,
Josie, and there's also there's Dave Nicholson,
Dave
up
Nicholson.
In the east. So that's basically us. We do have actually.
Big
So,
Dave.
Aye. A wee bit of sarcasm there. Most people know. Yeah, most people will know Dave Nicholson, and
He's a cracking guy.
Yeah,
cracking guy.
Good guy. He's been around Ceed for a lot of years. That's Victoria. Some new kids in the block with Megan and Josie, but that's just getting a bit of energy in there.
They're doing great. But so that's your team size.
So we have another. So I don't know. We won't go into this in great depth. We've got an idea that something called the Ceed Academy,
right? Okay.
And the basis of this is that instead of term time students, going and getting jobs in supermarkets and bars to supplement their income, as students have to do, although that's good fun and actually some might want to do that, there's an opportunity within industry to go and get part-time jobs exist in companies.
100%.
And you can, even though you're a student, you can still go and get a job, a day a week, or 2 days a week, whatever fits for your studies. So we've got a young lady called Elizabeth McInnes who's working with us in the final year of her business and finance course, who's come in to do a day a week with us and try and help with our systems and our back office stuff that we pay too little attention to. So yeah.
So see that what you're talking about there. So we looked at that. So we had an intern that we did a project with. It didn't work out, but that's what we said to them. We said, listen, so you're obviously going into your final year. So what you got? Oh, I'm going to work in McDonald's. I'm working in McDonald's. I'm like, we'll get you more money and just work for us, because it's not as if they need to be there between 9 and 5, right? So they can do it at their own time at night. So because most projects that you can get, and there's things there that they can do that they don't need to be in an office or be in a manufacturing place. And I think there is a major opportunity for that. Obviously, at the time we didn't go forward because we ended up with the skills in house to do the thing that we were looking at. But there'll be times in the future that we will 100% look to utilise that. Gives somebody so there's lots of benefits to it. One, gives them an opportunity to make money that isn't something that they actually are training to do and enjoy doing. Two, it means that you're getting access to a skill level that you probably, for some businesses, might not be able to afford to put into your business as a cost at that point. And then three, the chances are that, see, when they're finished,
future employee.
Correct. So there's major benefits to it. I think it's a brilliant idea.
No, you've summed that up quite well. And
I thought that we had a plan.
Well, no, I don't think we did.
We didn't. So.
But it's I mean, it's not rocket science.
No,
quite honest with you. And it definitely is, yeah, it's a clear opportunity. I mean, we've been wanting to do this for years, like everything. It's just trying to find the resource, a wee bit of backing to do it.
Yep.
I think we gave a shout out last year, maybe got it, the Ceed Awards last year, to the ministers who were there to put their hand in their pocket and maybe support this, because it's a good thing to do.
Richard.
Richard and Ivan was there as well, so
Yeah.
I think they'll be back this year, so they'll maybe get it again. And we've actually got another idea brewing to do similar with apprentices.
Right, good.
So an idea came via another member down this part of the world, actually, Storm Aviation,
All right, aye.
who were keen for their apprentices to go and meet other apprentices at other companies and learn from one another. So we're on the cusp of an idea again. It just needs a wee bit of support to us to be able to do that, and we're ready to go. And I think maybe you guys put your hand up for that, and a few others thought this was a great idea.
Aye,
All run by the apprentices. They can host the tours. They can tell each other what they do. They can share their issues with them. I mean, surely that's got to be
major value,
development.
because we looked at it. We were looking at, when talking about KTP, so we looked at a few other KTPs, said, why don't we swap for a month? Just shows, because these are people that are just basically most of the time just come out of academia, they're getting into that business, they're then getting into the big bad world of how businesses work, but that's all they know. So go somewhere else so they can understand these other places. I think getting access to a multitude of different businesses, cultures, sectors, all this kind of stuff can only be beneficial to people. That was one of the things I used to say, was that I was fortunate enough. See, because you're in a service business, you're getting to see hundreds of different types of businesses and services and cultures and ways of working and all this kind of stuff. And you see, you're saying yourself, so you worked in Babcock for a long time. You know Babcock. You know the way Babcock work. You know the things that go on in Babcock. See, when you then go outside and you go, holy moly, the world outside Babcock's a completely different place to what I thought it was. I think that sharing and understanding of different industry sectors and the way that things work, I think it is massive for people development. So that for me, what I was actually hoping was going to come out of that is that I could just ship, like, Lucas, my son apprentice, and just ship him off somewhere for a year.
Well, to be honest,
I'm only kidding on me, man, because he'll be watching that in the office soon.
I'm sure he's a valued.
He is.
But there is value in that. I suppose the small wee flaw we sometimes get from some people is they don't want to let their good talent go and meet other people, because there's this fear. And I think, we say that in the Ceed network, we can't guarantee it, but we hope that in our network it's an open, trusting network. That's not going to happen. It's for the right reasons that you're.
The other thing I would say though is to kind of probably challenge that a wee bit is, see if you make sure that your place is good enough. Actually, obviously, I might come back and bite me in the arse, but my whole role in life is try to make sure that we train our people up well enough that they can leave, but treat them well enough that they don't want to, right? And it's making sure that they can see that path, and that they see that the value that they have within the business. I mean, I'm constantly, every time, don't get me wrong, I wind most of them up all the time, but I need to try and let them know that they are valued members of staff. And the challenge you've got with some big organisations is that the people don't always see that, right? And I've got living proof of that, of being part of a big organisation where you just see yourself as a number, right? Nobody wants that anymore. The people only come into their work just to get paid. They're coming to their work for different. So the whole culture part of people's employment now is massively different in my eyes. So this is where businesses need to try and evolve and make sure that their staff know that they're a valued asset. The staff know that they've got a future. The staff know these things, because if you can do all that right, I mean, I would happily put any of my apprentices or any of my employees into any other business, right? And I would be hopeful that they would be going there and learning and going there to understand what the purpose of them going there, and it's they're going there to try and find a new job, right? And I would do it, and see if I lost anybody, I would then sit down and go, and I sit down and reevaluate our culture and what we think. So what we think we're doing good and all that kind of stuff. So that for me it'd be a bit of a lesson. Yes, it would be a bit slower, but you need to be able to trust the fact. I mean, I've got my guys that are in other people's sites all the time. right? Because we service and we go around other people's sites. So we're constantly having to make sure we work on making sure they enjoy their job, right? And make sure the thing with it, that I can see the reason why, but I think we need to stop being scared of that and make sure that our people want to work where they're working.
Yeah, and to be fair, most people do that in the Ceed network. There's only it's some outliers that are maybe a little bit more insular.
Aye.
And maybe know that they've not got a great environment or culture. I mean, I've always got another test. As I say, I'm privileged to get to see a whole raft of different companies, different stages, and all of them are there's always value in some of them. I always kind of gauge the culture. See if you get a show around the shop floor or a tour of some of the facilities. Whoever's showing you around, if the people on the shop floor or in the environment kind of interact or talk back or say hello, you know that the culture's good.
Aye.
See when you go on tours and almost the people that are down there just almost ignore you, or hide or do, you know, just avoid you. There's a good chance that the culture's not great. So there would be a tip for any business: take a visit around and see if you get the hellos and all the rest of it from the people who work there. You know, at the sharp end.
When we do these kind of visits and stuff like that, I'll always go and speak to people. Always. But what is it you do? Right, and you can get that, so you get a gauge straight away, because somebody that's enjoying their job turns around and they take pride in telling you what they do. I've been in places where they go, old stuff.
Well, I'm probably not for a lunchtime show, but I had a few interesting experiences in Babcock when I went there at first. And I mean, to be fair, it was quite a progressive place, but you still, you know, it's quite traditional dockyard type. So, I mean, you talk about experiences, and going there was an experience in itself. I mean, I'd come from things like semiconductors, you know, Japanese culture, and that's where I kind of learned an awful lot. Went out to the big bad world after that and thought, my goodness, you know, what's happening
They're all
here?
representing.
Do you not all work together in teams and stuff like that and do things? And
no,
you know,
what you've got is you went to. So were you at South Street? Whereabouts? What Babcocks were you at?
Well, I was at Rosyth mainly.
Right, okay.
So
it's not so bad then. So if you went to like BA Systems or anything down at South Street, what you've got is you've got two halves and they don't talk to each other because one half Rangers, one half Celtic. That's what it used to be in the past. So what do you used to work together? No, he's this and they're that. And
well, I do remember at Babcock, it was the trades that had the issue. You know, the Sparkies when they talk to the Necky fitters, when they talk to the plumbers, when they do this, and everybody thought they were a grade above everybody else. To be honest, I'd say it was probably in the main banter. That's grown up through time. I was just sorry I missed it, because some of the stories you hear from Babcock of old and all of these kind of traditional industries are just legendary.
100%.
Again, not for probably a lifetime.
Definitely no, definitely right. Because we used to have similar. So like within the business, but Quartzlake business I had. So I'm doing it. So Aberdeen, you were a winder fitter. So you did the winding work and you did the overhauls and the fitting work. I'm doing to rugby and it was, I'm a winder, I'm a fitter. Like, hold on a minute. Why do you not do them both? Oh no, I'm a winder. Oh, I'm a fitter. No for long. And went through a period of saying, right, yes, you're a specialist winder and yes, you're a specialist fitter, but you're both going to be able to do each other's jobs. I'm like, can you strip a machine down when it comes in? Aye, but I'm a winder. Right, okay. Can you rewind a machine? Aye, but I'm a fitter. Okay. Guess what? You're now going to debrief, right? Because everybody needs to work together, and they would maybe still do some of the specialist bits of each other's and stuff like that. But what a difference it was making.
Then you'll get the shop steward pulling you aside and going, "What are you doing?"
That's what I do. You can't make us do this, and blah 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 blah.
And want more money for doing it.
Aye, well, that was where the I think the previous kind of leadership team maybe there was a kind of tail wagging the dog a wee bit.
Well, that was always quite a thing back in the day. Unionised environments could be quite interesting places, you know. But it's a lot more collaborative now, I think. But people realise that they're actually trying to go the same way. You know, and a successful company means successful, you know, environment and probably salaries and wages and stuff like that. So don't fight against each other. And that,
I think a big part of it is leadership, because back then you were just told what to do.
Yeah.
Right. So that was what it was. Whereas now you're going from having bosses, stroke managers to actually leaders.
Yeah.
Which, and this was where I can remember having the conversation with them. I said, listen, every single decision that I make in this business is for you, no me.
Yeah.
No, it will make no difference to my daily life, but the decisions are made to make sure we can keep the place running, to keep you employed. That was it. And they never ever thought about it like that. It was just, no, the boss says this and the boss says that. The boss, no, listen, the boss doesn't make decisions to benefit the boss. Maybe previously things like that happened, but no anymore.
Yeah.
Every decision that's made is made to make sure that you can keep your mortgage getting paid for as long as possible. And when that message started to actually resonate with them, they actually seen that, right, okay, you're not just being this to be an arse, right? You're not doing this. There was always a reason behind it. And I think back in the olden days when it was just, they probably found that the bosses were doing, so it was, you need to do all that so as I make more money.
Yeah. I think yeah, we had a lot of examples of autocratic leadership from back in the day. You're probably right. Leadership has moved on an awful lot, and maybe hopefully that's something to do with things that, like the Seeds of this world, that I've taken lots of different people through things like the leadership development programs like Growth 500, and just giving people a different way of thinking about things and dealing with people and working in teams and communicating and engaging. All of these things have probably added to it being a better environment now.
100% agree, because at the end of the day, you only know what you know.
Yep.
Right, so if that's what you've grown up with and that's what it's always been like,
Yep.
you don't know any different. And that's where a network like Ceed, you're bringing all these different peoples together and they're going, oh, actually, I like the culture there. I like the way that they're running that. You've walked in the factory and everybody's coming talking to you.
Mhm.
I go down to my factory and everybody hides. That I think that's massively influential in some of these things. I know that I take a lot of good stuff from being at these events. You're going, do you know what? I could try that in my place and see how it
Well,
works.
we've got the biggest event coming up that we do.
That's what I was just about to say. We better hurry up and talk about the feedbots, or we're going to run out of time. And fucking Joe will definitely miss that part.
Well, I have mentioned it. I don't think we actually almost have to mention it. It's become a kind of entity.
Many folk this year. Massive.
Well, I mean, it's still building. There's space available. We squeezed in 700 last year, or just over 700, because we had a late night phone call to say, can you squeeze another 4 in
Right.
the night before? So it's a week and Thursday or 2 weeks yesterday. Most people who know Ceed are kind of either involved or are coming along in the night, and you're bringing the team along, I think, as well.
We've got 2 tables this year, so we had our own table, and then obviously we've now partnered up with one of our clients, and they're coming. The 5 of them coming as well, so it's always a brilliant night. So it'll be a good night and good fun.
So is the pink jacket coming out again?
What do you think?
That'll be a yes.
I don't know. I can't wear that again. I wore that last year.
Maybe I was the only one who noticed.
Oh no. As I say, well, put it this way: when I walked into the obviously Booth Welsh, who's the main sponsor this year? Booth Welsh was the main kind of sponsor last year.
It's actually going back to our very first platinum sponsor, which is Karen at 920.
Is it? All right. Oh, well done. Karen watches the show. Hi, Karen.
So shout out. That's really only recently. So Karen, there's some changes in Karen's business, and just the right thing. So we're delighted that because Karen's Karen Stewart's a huge supporter of Ceed, is on the board and does a lot for our network and our organisation.
Karen, you're awesome. But obviously Booth Welsh was the platinum sponsor last year.
Was great as well.
So obviously, I walked into their drinks reception, and Martin just looked at me and went,
they're pre-event, they're
pre-drinks. So yes, for those that weren't at the event, it's actually not pink, right? It is strawberry blonde.
I thought you were going to say like salmon or something.
I was going to say salmon, but everybody says that when they're trying to say it's no pink. So it's pinky purple. But I love that shit. But I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Basically, it'll probably be determined on what Heather's wearing. So I'll be. Oh, you can't wear that because I'm wearing this. All right, then I need to reevaluate it. There was something else. I was going to wear. Or do I know what I was thinking about wearing? Right, and this might still be the case. Did you watch the show with Alika? That had Alika on there. So Alika Bank, their symbol is a orange bowler hat. Look at his face. It's an orange bowler hat, right? You should see this thing. It is cool as. And it was he was in the day of the Ayrshire Chamber Awards, and I was like, I'm wearing this, right? And then I couldn't get a tie to go with it, so I didn't wear it. And plus Heather went bush, but I might show that as an your appearance. Can you imagine me walking in with a bright orange bowler hat?
I don't think you're going to stand out at all, Jamie, to be honest. I think you need to do something better than that.
I didn't tell you what I was wearing. I'm just wearing the bowler.
What's the bowler hat?
Just wanted to, I'm pretty sure I would stand out then. No, the awards event is an absolutely outstanding. So that's obviously that 3 we've been to now, and just the number of people that are there, the network that's there, the communication that goes on before it, and all that kind of stuff, and everything. It's just an absolutely outstanding night.
No, thanks for that. We're looking forward to it. We're very proud of it. I mean, it has come. It was a labour of love for a number of years. I've been. This is the 7th year. We had 1 year away. 7th year, and I've been involved in 5. So, the first one I was involved with was the first event right after COVID. That was an interesting. I don't think people had been out much for a while. It was a bit wild, shall we say? And it can be it can get a bit rowdy, or just a bit happy, just a bit people enjoying themselves. But that first year I was there was particularly interesting.
It looked like opening the doors of the zoo.
A wee bit. Masks on for about 5 minutes.
And then, then
going if people remember those halcyon days.
Aye.
And masks.
That's right. So there's still a few tickets available. So hopefully, obviously, they'll go anyway. I know they'll go.
Yep.
But it's a great night. Obviously, we've sponsored it again this year, an award, because again for us, when we won the Ceed award, it was a massive thing for us. So again, but same as we try and do with everything, we try and give something back to that. So I'm obviously hoping this year that the award that we had given isn't up last, like it was, right? Because I'm sitting there the whole night going, I better not get too drunk. And then by the time it was like 2 hours to go, I was quite drunk, and then I'm going like that, right? So
what is it? Knowledge exchange.
Knowledge. I think is it. I think it's knowledge exchange.
Very appropriate for you. I think. I know it's maybe at first thought it's not, but I think it's very appropriate. And was it not that the winners' names were a little bit challenging?
Oh, they were challenging, yes. So 1, I'm half drunk, right? 2, their names were a bit challenging. 3, I didn't realise I was to give out 2 trophies. Right. So I gave them 1 trophy between them. And so I am like that. Hopefully this year it's a bit earlier, because what I said was I was speaking to Claire Baird before I went, right, so I've got 2 choices here. I go up and I just try and make this quick and professional, or 2, I go up there and I have a right good laugh, right, and I just commit my personalities like that. Be professional. She's obviously saying I'm not very funny.
I would have given you the second bit of advice, to be honest.
Man. So if I'm last this year, obviously I've got Jackie at my table, and I'm pretty sure I'll be pretty pish by the time it gets to it. So you might find that it's hello New York. I'm ready to go. No, hello Ceed, me again.
with my orange bowler hat on.
Orange bowler hat on and my t-shirt. In fact, I better remember this. I never did it last time. Right, so there's your t-shirt. So you get
Thanks very much.
Now you'll be glad that you come on after our first year's birthday, because you get yourself a late lunch show t-shirt for the gym or walking the dog or whatever.
Great. I'll go with my hat I've got actually for coming up with some garbage slogan, I think, for you on LinkedIn once.
Go for it. Aye, that's right. Aye. Can't remember what it was.
You were giving out hats, but you had to come back with something that used the
sustainability or something.
Sustainability and reliability, and a some witty comment. And witty comments are not usually my forte, to be quite honest. I think I got there at the end. See
when I do that every year, see the amount of people. But actually, was it last year? So I got 100 hats, and obviously they're there to kind of give out to the staff and give it to customers and stuff. I ended up having to buy another 50 hats. Because and honestly, there was people from all over the shop getting them. There's folk that have been running marathons in them. There's folk that have been climbing up all sorts of mountains.
Great.
Well, that's brilliant.
Great.
And they're great hats.
Aye. Maybe that's your awards outfit.
Aye. My Ilsa hat. My beanie.
Your beanie, aye. But no, we're hugely appreciative of all our sponsors, particularly like yourself, Jamie. We see it as a bit of a paying forward, and previous winners kind of stepping up and supporting the next batch of winners, if you like. And it's hugely appreciated. Ceed doesn't exist without its network, without people supporting it as members or supporting it just by coming to things, getting involved, getting engaged, and obviously when it gets to the awards, taking part, entering them. And obviously people who can sponsor as well, who are lucky enough to sponsor. So we're all hugely appreciative of all of it. It's the business model at Ceed relies on that. We tap into some government funding, enterprise funding to do some projects because we've got a vast network. We can help. We can be the conduit for getting to industry. But ultimately, Ceed only exists because of the network.
Yeah.
And back to your original thing, the bigger the network, the more that Ceed can impact as a network. So yeah, the more the merrier.
So is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I'm going to finish off with one thing.
No, I think I've done enough of it.
We've done no bad. We've done no bad, right? So I want to reach out to anybody that's watching this and say, I want them to get in touch with David, right, and try and join up as if they're not already members, because I think it's got huge amounts of value. And I'm going to give them a discount code for you.
That's all right.
So if you use Ilsa 10, right? So message David Ilsa 10 and see how much you have.
The 10 might be a clue. Is that pound or percent?
You decide.
To be honest, and this isn't like an open offer, but we're always happy to work with people, because smaller companies that have got challenging times, are growing or scaling, whatever. We're not that hard about it. We need to. It is a small contribution.
Aye.
There are set rates of that, but we work with people to find a way, and we let people come to things to try and get involved. So absolutely put it out there. If people feel they want to be involved, then just come and speak to us, I guess.
And put on nails at 10 anyway, just so you can see how many folks came through the show.
Aye.
And then I can maybe get some more Turnock's biscuits.
I think that means it's probably a share to you. Aye.
Listen, all I want is more tea cakes and more wafers. Right? I'm not caring about any conversation, because for me, if we can help get people into this, that I'm a massive advocate. So if all I want to try and do is build that network. And yes, there is obviously a wee bit that what's in it for us, because see, the more people that are in that network, the more value we get when we're at these things. So the bigger the network, the more that, let's talk about the knowledge transfer opportunities, because that's what it is. It's that sharing of knowledge, sharing of experience, and the more people that are there, the more people that are part of the community, the more chance we've got of learning it.
I totally agree. I mean, we talked about it before. It's not coming along with that. It's not a B2B sales pitch networking. It's knowledge transfer. It's knowledge exchange. It's sharing what your piece of the jigsaw with somebody else's, and understanding what their challenges are and how you can support each other. And see, just by doing that builds relationships, and that builds something for the future. And if it's not just core work that you do, if it's just sharing something, if it's even you need an off-site meeting, going and using another member's boardroom or something like that, you know them. Aye. You can do that with them. And that's there's the I guess not the hidden value, but the value that's maybe not seen. Aye. By being part of a network like that, you're in it with all these other companies.
And I'm going to just quickly, before we finish off, is talk about the actual sales opportunity, right? Because it's nobody's in there selling to each other, right? But see, what happens is the whole world of how you do business has changed, in my opinion, right? Because it used to be that you would be doing sales and blah 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 blah. Like, so we've had lots of opportunities within from other Ceed members, and that's not because we're trying to sell anything to anybody. It's because somebody's gone, I think you could help what you're doing. I think you could help my business. So it's not that I've been in any of these meetings and gone, oh, by the way, we could help you. You're just having a conversation, and for me, that's how commercial relationships are getting built now. It's getting built on, I do this, I do that, or we could help each other. Let's have a chat, right? So it's not that they've tried to, and I've done it as well with other people for the likes of Ceed and these kind of things. Is I'm going, I could really use what you do, right? The buying and selling world has changed where people are usually buying built on a relationship, right? And it's always been people who buy from people, but it used to be there would be a salesperson talking to a buyer, and then that relationship would be formed. Now, what I think is people are buying off a relationship that's been built somewhere else. And that's, for me, what I think can be massive. And you don't know. So you're just sitting there talking to each other and talking about what you do. Nobody's selling it to anybody.
No.
But if there's a connection there, there's a connection there. But it's built on a relationship rather than I want to buy something or I want to sell something. And that's massive. So people that have maybe got a business that want to, that think that their product or their service or their solution is beneficial to somebody that's in an engineering or a manufacturing organisation, you join Ceed, right? But you're not joining it to sell to somebody. You're joining it to understand their challenges. And if your product, solution, service can meet those challenges, then there could be connections there. So that's just where it could be a wide thing, but it's not a selling thing, but it's building relationships with people who could add value to each other.
Yeah, like-minded people. I mean, we rely on people like you, Jamie, and the network as a whole to be the ambassadors, because it's not about us trying to tell people about that. It's people that have been in the network and sharing those experiences and what's actually happened.
Yeah.
The problem we have a lot of the time is that we don't. We're so quick moving. Well, not always that, but we're quick moving from session to session or bringing people together, that we probably don't reflect or capture enough about where those connections are made. We see them eventually happening, because that's where the real that real value is.
Well, there you go. So I'll give to finish us off, I'll give you a couple of examples of where connections that have took place through the Ceed network have ended up benefiting clients and benefiting us. So we're just doing work at the moment for Celtic Renewables. Right. So that started through a Ceed relationship. We are looking at work. We're looking at going to the Star Refrigeration kind of sales meeting that they're having, or managers meeting that they're having, because the guys for Star, they do similar stuff to what we're doing, but they've seen us at that RCA thing and went, do you know what? We don't do it the same way that you do it. Right, there might be an opportunity to come in. So that's somebody that would never ever have probably spoken to us because they do their own thing. But they've learned what we do and went, we're maybe not doing it the way that they guys can do it. Let's look at trying to see if there's a way of working with them. So that was no, we've not tried to sell to any of the two of them. What that is we've talked about something at somewhere and they've went, well, we talk to you a wee bit more about that because we maybe be able to utilise it. So that's business that's been business that's been done between Ceed members without anybody selling anything.
Yeah. And we don't hear about that. We do hear about that, and that actually makes it worthwhile what we do. When you hear that, how you've brought people together has actually added value. So therefore, you've helped the sort of ecosystem, I guess, by allowing people to come and be in the same space together. Somebody sharing knowledge, somebody going, "No, I could use that expertise," or I do it like this, but actually that's far better. And we see a lot of that, and I guess another reason for getting involved in the network.
Definitely. Right. Okay. Well, listen. I knew we would end up going over because that was always going to. Is that not one of the fastest hours you've ever had in your life?
I didn't realise it was an hour. I thought it was half an hour.
Aye. It's amazing how quickly it goes, isn't it?
Aye.
It's you just sit there and you're because it's just a blather.
Well, we've blathered a wee bit like this before and stuff, and well, generally there's a negative slant to about what's not going right as well, but that's good as well. But aye, it's always. I think we could. I think that's probably the reason I'm still around in Ceed after over 4 years, is because you can see the value that you're and the contribution that you're making to things. I got upset at first because. Not upset, but a bit frustrated at first because in previous roles, I'd be a doer. I could go and do something. I could go and make something happen. I could go and project management something. I could go and get people together and get teams together and do that and actually make the thing happen. Now, at first I thought, oh, you're just connecting dots, you're just pulling there, but actually that's a hugely important role, because as you say, if you hadn't been in the same room with another person from another company, then that, you know, what you've just described there with your two examples wouldn't have happened.
100%.
So it's hugely important, and so that's, I guess, why, you know, I'm still there,
Yeah.
and will be for a wee while, and with that aspiration, really that aspiration of growing the network and, you know, whatever, doubling it in size and doubling the team, doing more stuff, being more proactive out there, and really helping to drive Scottish manufacturing and engineering, you know, to higher levels.
Well, let's go for a grow Ceed to 500 rather than the growth 500. Let's go to a grow Ceed to 500.
I like it. Along with your Rails are 10. This is, you're on some lot of commission now.
Oh, aye. So let's go. Honest to God, I'll back to being everybody's thinks that you get a piece of everybody's door. A bit of fatty running about with all my no disrespect, boy, but I'm sure if I was eating 48 caramel wafers every couple of weeks as my commission for Ceed, I wouldn't belong to a rolling about the place.
You turn into a caramel wafer, as your mother would say.
Look, there's Jamie, the turn up tea cake.
That was the Commonwealth Games, wasn't it? The dancing tea cakes. You get a gig.
Right, okay, mate. Well, obviously, we'll leave it at that, because we could be here all day. We know we could be here all day.
Enjoyed that.
So, I hope you enjoyed your time here.
I appreciate the invite.
No problem at all. And obviously, if there's anybody still watching it just now, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show and keep an eye on it. We got a lot of people that watching this Sunday. We'll talk about Dougie Aiken, right? So, Dougie, right, this is Dougie's Sunday viewing, right? Because by that point, the missus is that pissed off with him. She's like, would you just go somewhere and do something and go out my hair? So, Dougie, love you to bits, mate. So, if you're still watching this, looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. When is it?
It's a week, the 5th. The 5th, always a Thursday. Always need the Friday off.
So there you go. I've got an official complaint to make. Why is it a Thursday?
Always has been. It's one of those, and it's always been that way. So we'll just leave it that way. There'll be a reason Thursday, probably because just to get a space in the calendar at first, now it's stuck. But you've got important stuff happening on Fridays these days.
So not just that, right? But that's what I'm saying. Obviously, for the likes of me, taking 2 tables out, so I've got 15 people from my business that are going to be rough as toast.
Aye.
So you call that. What in heck, man? So yeah, because I was always like, why the bloody hell was that Thursday? So I'm going to have to. So I don't even know who I've got on. Andrew, who's on the show Friday after the Ceed Awards?
I would need to go into diary.
Don't know. So the last time I had Catherine Hume and I can't remember the other woman's name. They were in here after it, and I was here, and I was absolutely dying. But luckily enough, Jackie, so I told Jackie, I'm going to tell everybody now. So the other woman that was on it, she was rough enough. So she came in, she was like, listen, I'm a wee bit rough. I went, thank God for that, because I'm as rough as toast. I says, I had the Ceed Awards last night. So whoever I've got on in the 7th, I can't remember who it is. I need to look at diary, but it's hopefully they're going to do all the talking.
In for that one, maybe.
Hopefully they're doing all the talking. I'll maybe get Audrey, because she can maybe come in and be the stand-in, because she doesn't drink. She's coming to the awards, but she doesn't really drink a lot. Because we're not staying this year, we're just taking a minibus up.
There's a few coming a minibus, actually. It's quite a popular thing.
The thing is, it was all right, the cost of the hotel, when it was just like 3 rooms, but when it's getting up to 10 rooms and all that kind of stuff, it becomes a costly event.
Well, you can still get 3 rooms and
just everybody going to them.
The whole Hilton one of us.
I don't know about that when I'm cutting about with my bowler hat on, nothing else. I don't think what culture's good, but it's not that kind of good. I'm sorry, I wouldn't say that's a good culture, but I would say we're a close-knit group, but we're not that close-knit. Right, okay, right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
That was good. Thanks for having me in. It's all credit to you for doing this and keeping this going. I think the sessions you've had have been fantastic. The people you know in your network that you can call up and say, come on and talk about something with me, is phenomenal. So yeah, keep it up, and yeah, we'll be back. I think Joel probably want to come back, you see.
Aye, but so I think what I've said, because you said to me, I can't make it, unfortunately, unless you want to bring the show to the golf course in Spain. I think that's a decent idea.
Right.
Right? What do you think, Andrew?
Aye.
So
Spain it is.
So it'll either be Spain or it'll be a golf course somewhere.
Well, this time next year, I'm sure he'll be back in Spain. This tends to be the time he goes to Spain.
Is it right?
Scotland.
Okay.
So
Just before the Ceed Awards.
Aye.
So what we'll maybe need to do, Andrew, is we'll need to look at right. So use your reels of 10, right? Get joined
It's
in.
going to fund it.
Aye, that'll fund me going to Spain today to show me Joe. So what'll happen is when I get all my tunnocks, tea cakes and wafers, I'm going to trade them all in for a ticket. But we'll definitely need to get Joe on. And to be fair, it might even be that we do this from an event. Because I think
Aye.
we've done a couple of shows now out on the road, and they're good. It's a good change.
Aye.
So we did obviously one at our golf day and stuff like that, and we've did one at Forth Ports, and we've did a couple out on the road. We did one at Glen Eagles. So it might be that we even
It's a
say,
great idea, because I said to you, people much prefer getting out and about to real environments when they've and Ceed stuff, that is. So it can't be any different for this. People might actually they'll get a lot of different value from it if you go to somewhere else.
because what we could do is if you're holding a Ceed event, we can do the show, and then we can say to people, right, we're going to anybody that wants on to talk about Ceed, what it does, what you think of it, blah blah blah. Because we had a kind of a round table kind of type thing in next door in the virtual production room that you seen with the Entrepreneurial Scotland people. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So that could be an idea.
Okay.
There you go, Andrew. Think about that. Think about planning it. And we'll take it from there. Right. Okay. We better let everybody go. The folk that are still watching it. I mean, my team especially, because they've got work today. Because they just sit on the TV. So we'll leave it at that. So thank you very much, David.
No, thanks for having me, Jamie.
No problem.
Pleasure.
Have a lovely weekend. And anybody that's still watching, have a lovely weekend when it comes. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.